Hello, my friends. Okay, so yesterday I posted my predictions for 2024 elections in the United States. It is a long video. You're very welcome to watch it, because in that video, essentially what we've done, we have analyzed Donald Trump's chart, we've analyzed Kamala Harris' chart, we've analyzed the day of the elections, what are the periods. Again, there is no actual chart for the elections day itself, because there is no specific moment when it's announced. It's kind of throughout the day, right? People are voting, and then there's still time when they're counting the votes. So we analyzed that. We also done something where we essentially opened the chart for the inauguration, right? There is an inauguration chart where we can take a look at what the next president of the United States is going to be busy with when he's in the office, what the next 4 years in the United States is going to, be focused on. So we talked about all of that. Now, of course, I am a Mars myself in the 9th house. I'm very passionate about certain topics, which, I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. And for me, even to do that video with 1 hour, I think it was more even than 1 hour, talking about the subject, this was me all kind of restraining myself, because I could say much more in that video. This is a very filtered version. So essentially the focus of this video that I'm recording right now is to just give a condensed, so to say, view. I might make a separate video on the horoscopes of Republican versus Democratic Party. This is something that's been requested as well. And actually, yes, in my video that I posted yesterday, I did say that I see in the horoscope of Republican Party in the United States that it is likely going to come to power for multiple terms. Honestly, I think it's probably going to be 2 terms, but honestly, 3 terms is not out of the question. I don't know, can it be three terms in a row? I'm not sure, because I just see something where Republican Party comes to power in the United States. And I think partially because there will be one of the reasons might be there will be a lot of independents, maybe even a lot of former Democrats that might join. I mean, there is definitely a shift in the United States that's happening in terms of, the spirits and beliefs and things like this. So I see Republican Party being very strong on multiple levels for the next decade, if I'm frank. So definitely there is that. I also did say that when it comes to the chart of Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump has much far stronger chart. What was his weakness was that he was running through relatively weaker time periods in his astrology chart. Kamala is right now definitely at the peak of her entire life, her career, her entire life. But I do not think that this is enough to make her president. She does not have, the most basic, there's more I added to this and more I can say about this. The most basic configuration is that she does not have the strength, neither of her ascendant ruler nor of the sun. The sun needs to be strong in the chart of a person who will become the president, and she does not have that. She does have strong career in Jupiter well placed, which is the ruler of her 10th house lord, which is the ruler of her 10th house. It's her 10th house lord. And in the recent time period, she was going through various activations. There's different astrology techniques. Some of them are transits, but there is more to that. Essentially, they were activating her very strong period in her career, which again, I think that, first of all, some of that ends before the election and definitely before the inauguration. But at the same time, again, the very important thing in astrology is ascendant ruler and also chart ruler and the sun itself. She does not have the strength of the sun, and it's just, I'm sorry, but maybe if she was running against somebody who had also weak sun, we could have seen how it plays out differently. But she is running against Donald Trump, who has a very strong sun. Again, one of the strongest chart I've seen. The sun is also the ruler of his chart because he is ascendant Regulus, where with Mars placed very close to his ascendant as well. He is still going through weaker time periods. However, I still see that the weaker time periods are going to be ending in his astrology chart right before the election, right before the inauguration. So again, his chances are very strong. Now, again, I also did mention something that when it comes to who is winning the election, there is more than 2 variables of 2 charts. Again, if there was 2 charts, that's enough to say that he's much stronger than her. There are other factors, including horoscopes of parties, horoscope of inauguration, But it's not even, frankly, all of the variables. There could be many, many, many more variables. The election dates, the days between election and inauguration. We can look at a lot of things. The horoscope of the United States is itself, various periods, how the charts of the nominees also work with the chart of the United States, with the chart of inauguration, which, by the way, some of them have like quite an interesting configurations with the chart of inauguration and chart of election, chart of the United States. Again, it's something like, if we wanted to look at every single little thing, which I was doing on my own time, before sleep at night sometimes, but it's at our video. Let's see. Again, my prediction is that Trump is gonna win. Republican Party is gonna be in power for the next 2 terms. I'm seeing it could be honestly more than that. I do believe that probably, hopefully, the optimistic prediction is that the Democratic Party will have a chance, to. I think Bill Ackman said something recently how. I'm going to try to find the quote, but essentially he said that it's going to be great if actually Democratic Party will take a massive loss in this election and will have the time to really, do some soul searching, what went wrong, and, reform itself. And I think, my optimistic view is that this is what's going to occur. Now, again, unfortunately, when it comes to the time period in the United States that's leading up to the election, which is pretty much right now, late August until November, I do see there's going to be likely much more chaos, including, I hope not, various, like some kind of different viruses could be, flying around. So be definitely healthy, stay safe, don't be scared, but at the same time take care of yourself. There could be protests, all the things that kind of already happening, definitely things like cyber attacks, whatever. Trump needs to be very careful still, because he does have a few transits that are pretty challenging still occurring as it's leading up to the election. However, even though there's a lot of chaos that's occurring in the United States leading up to the election, and I'm seeing also, frankly, between the election and then the inauguration, I think we're gonna make it through. We just have to be prepared for quite a bit of chaos, and be prepared, stay strong, and do not be confused. And then I also mentioned that in the inauguration chart itself, which is very easy, it's always stable, right? January 20th, so it's going to be January 20th, 2025, between 11 to 12 p.m. Even when we look at 11 a.m., when we look at 12 p.m., we have similar charts. I looked at both, but essentially in that chart we can see that with the Aries rising and the chart ruler Mars in retrograde position in the fall, in the 4th house, in the sign of Cancer, in a retrograde position, we can see that the top priority for the future president of the United States is going to be homeland security, domestic security. Domestic security, of course, will be, there's different forms of that. I do think there will be, in my natal chart I have Mars in Cancer, so it's like sometimes you get paranoid, about your security. And I think in the United States, which already, it used to, until recent times, take its border security very seriously, homeland security very seriously, I'm an immigrant myself. I remember when I was immigrating to the United States, I was going through various checks, like it was not something where I just came and they were like, oh, hello, welcome. So yes, homeland security, there might be something like mass deportation taking place, strengthening the border. Trump in his interview said he wants to build Iron Dome if he gets elected. Likely we're going to have some kind of missile defense system over the United States. Frankly, also additional things, evaluating, like, was there some internal breaches within our government, school systems. I really hope they start checking college funding for the colleges and universities in the United States, and who really controls what's being fed to the children and to the college students, different programming that's been occurring. So yeah, very strong focus on domestic security, and also with the moon in Libra in 7th house of inauguration chart. Moon here also becomes the ruler of the 4th house. We will be building our alliances, building up our alliances, finding more peace resolutions, peace agreements in the way that it makes sense, okay? And essentially, I think there will be, even though we're still going to be involved in resolving some conflicts, there will be, hopefully, my optimistic view on that is that there will be more peace and harmony that the next president hopefully will be able to create. Something I also mentioned is looking at the chart, how Uranus is in Taurus in the second house. I do believe that the next president of the United States will be embracing Bitcoin, will be embracing crypto. So this is very, very optimistic for me personally. Again, I think it's likely going to be Trump, and if it is, he did say even when he attended Bitcoin conference in Nashville that, he is going to make it make sense, essentially, because it doesn't make nothing makes sense with the previous administration. And again, this is the video where I try to not speak too much of my opinions. The other video where I said not everything, but most of the things that I really think is the longer one. But yeah, it looks optimistic. Again, let me know if you want me to do an analysis of Democratic Party versus Republican Party and what I see in those periods. This is the condensed version. Again, my prediction: Trump wins, Republican Party wins, and we essentially will be cleaning up a lot of mess over the next 4, but maybe even 8 years. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Be nice. And yes, I am optimistic, even though I do think that the next few months could be shaky, and we just have to be strong. I mean, we've made it through the past 4 years. So I think a few more months shouldn't be too much of a problem, It's like the darkest before dawn. So yes, love you all. We'll talk soon. Let me know what other videos would you like me to make. And yes, sending you a lot of positivity, health, peace. Stay safe, stay strong. Love you all. Bye.